welcome back. We've got in the room now, we've got the big hitters in the room now. We've got two gentlemen that join myself and Florence Inett with us. We've got Doyle, who is currently on the right of Flo. Den, welcome mate, welcome and good to see you. And congratulations on your brand new gym. It is absolutely fantastic. Too many stairs, but it's fantastic. It really is. Flo's sung your praises, absolute nothing but admiration for you and and the family. Loads of love, and it's plain to see the relationship that you've got. On the left then we've got Flo's brand new manager, who's Robert Riley, an esteemed figure in the world of boxing and well known around Sheffield. We've got a brand new gym, possibly the biggest gym in Yorkshire, not just South Yorkshire at the moment, and which is great. Rob's also part of RL Promotions, who promoting your debut show on June the 20th down there at the Old Forge in Sheffield. So it's over to the lads really, and yourself for this section of our cast. I suppose what I want to know is what brought you and Rob Riley together to start with. Why Rob Riley as your manager?
I would say I didn't know Rob. I got introduced to him by then. And that's pretty much all I know from what I can remember. After that, then set up a meeting and I ended up meeting Rob for the first time.
Brilliant.
So that's all I know from myself.
What a wonderful person she was when I met her.
Well, that's come across. It has come across. Then you've known Rob for how many years?
Oh, 20 odd years. Has to be. Has to be. We're getting old now,
man,
so
from boy to man.
Aye, boy to man.
And clearly it must be all good because you recommended that Rob should be the manager.
This is it. I always promised him a superstar. Bring him a superstar one day.
Wow.
And there you go. There's a superstar. First one from Huddersfield. First lady ever.
Amazing lady, absolutely.
Well, I am sold already. But so what were Rob's attributes? What made you think of Rob Riley?
Well, basically, when we were, like I said, about 20 odd years ago, I rang him up and I says, have you got any sparring for my lads? And I was starting out at the time in coaching business. And he says, yeah, bring them through. We were just dead accommodating. He says, just bring them through. Bring whoever you've got. And those that we can accommodate, we will do. And everyone else will have a little workout with them. So we went across and we all had an absolute brilliant day.
We did, didn't we, Dan? You turned me over right that day, didn't you?
I don't know about
that. When Dan's always been a very, very shrewd man in boxing, and he's really been honest with me every time we've been together. We've spoke about this, what's happening today. Been a long time coming. I've been talking over 10 years about it. I'm going to set my own promotions up and that. And Gary Longmore, my right hand man, he's been with me for 16 years. We just wanted this so much. And then when obviously Den's become not just a very, very good friend. Not just it's a little bit different, our relationship between me and Den. We're like I know it sounds a bit cheesy, but we are a family. Boxing is a family, but we've got a bit more connection because we've always been honest with one another. We've fought each other's boxers against each other a few times. I mean, Den's always had better than me, but we've won a few against him, which I can hold my chin up. But I'm quite happy about that. Like I said, Den's always, his boxers are well trained, well educated, very good at boxing IQs. Listen, as an amateur coach, his record stands phenomenal. There's not many people can compare against him, and he's a grassroots. He trained them from grassroots, so there's none of this. Got him halfway through, thing. Somebody else's work, and he's just capitalising on it. He's done them from grassroots. From first time I've ever put a pair of boxing gloves on, this man's section. These are the coaches I want to be working with. This man's trained. He's trained them from the beginning. So this is the reason why we get on so well, because we're honest. And this is what this interview was about, being honest about everything. Now, when Den come to me with Flo, I already knew about Flo, and so she a bit of an in Yorkshire area. Everybody knew her because of how good she is. She's very slick. She's got a lot of charisma in ring. Even as an amateur, England boxing don't like that sort of thing, but she's just one of them people finds boxing so easy, and when she literally on the pun floor, she does floor. I'll tell you, her punches are unbelievable. I'm so excited to be and honoured to be managing this young lady, because at the end of the day, I've got a world beater, and we're not just talking one world title, a unified, undisputed world champion. I'm telling you, she's going to clear up when she starts. Yes, we've got to get over these few hurdles, these few fights, one fights, thing. But my plan for this young lady is in the next 6 to 7 fights, she'll be fighting for some sort of title, whether it's Central Area, British, Commonwealth. We're going for it because I believe in this young lady. I believe she's got a thing. Her background is phenomenal. How she's come over into this country and what she's had to put up with, phenomenal. People, it's a break lot bigger people than her, unbelievable. The story of this young lady and how she's changed her life and dedicated her life to boxing it's unique. So for me, I can't wait for this journey to start. I really can't. Den's, I won't lottery with this young lady, to be honest with you. I really won't lottery, and I think when we get out there and she shows what she can do, God. And I'm not a religious man, God, thank you. You know what I mean? We're going to have a fantastic time. The journey's up, not even begun yet, but I'm so excited. I can't sleep at night sometimes thinking about this young lady because of what she's capable of doing. I've seen it as an amateur. God. World, get ready, please. Thank you.
So high praise there from your manager, really high praise, and sincerity from your manager, Flo, really is. Which is great, isn't it? Because he's looking from the outside in. Now let's go to the main man who's looking from the inside in. He's in the gym with you, yeah, day in, day out. We've kept no secret that your love for each other is plain to see. It's very, very evident. Den, what makes her so special?
I can ask her to do absolutely anything. Like the other week, we just dropped her in a place called Honley, and I just says, listen, we're going for a little run. And it must have been 12 miles later, we were top of Home Moss. I don't know if you know where Home Moss is. So it's about 12 kilometres altogether, all uphill. And when I'm talking hills, Home Moss, I think it's the second biggest in the country, 1,780 feet, I believe.
Really?
Yeah. So we got to the summit, and I drove to make sure that she wasn't walking any time, and she didn't stop once. So I'm quite proud of her. And little does she know, there were another bloke there at the time, and he were coming at the same time, but I drove back, picked him up, and drove him and dropped him in front of her.
What, you actually did?
She says, how was he got in front of me? Because she made sure she was beating him, you see.
Longer legs.
That I was trying to make him push herself to get past him, and she did.
I was so
it was a test on that hill. So she was so mad, she says, he's got the bus or something. I says, no, and I pulled up beside her. I said, oh, he hasn't got bus, he just flew past you, you not see him. And she was going crackers, and she was saying, he's not beating me, he's not. And she was flying up Lone Moss. And when she got to the top, she was knackered, but he was about half a mile up behind
That was
me.
brilliant. That is really brilliant.
I was so angry.
And stuff like that, I could tell you 100 stories. Or stuff like that, where she just dug deep when she needs to.
That is fantastic.
Be it an English title, be whatever it is, be it Haringey Box Cup final. And I said, listen, we're in deep water here. You need to dig deep. This girl's good. We need to go all the way and go for it. And she's just brought up the goods every time. And how can you beat that?
That's superb, absolutely superb. That's really good. And without going off, let's go down a different avenue. I'll allude to this on off camera. We had a chat earlier when I arrived at the gym tonight, and we talked about old methodologies of training and Den's trying to embrace strength and conditioning. As I am, and I'm totally ignorant to it because we pick weights up, we put them down, and I never saw any benefit of them. But as I get older and as I see the results, it is plain to see that clearly there is some benefit to this. It's interesting that and I'm going to use the word make, that you make Flo run 12 miles. She has no option to run, which is half marathon, isn't it, basically? Where Angelo Dundee once was quoted in saying, I get my fighters, and he trained the likes of Muhammad Ali, didn't he, and Sugar Ray, Jimmy Ellis, George Foreman in his latter years, but he was adamant that all his boxers would run 3 miles a day. No more than 3 miles a day, and he didn't care whether if they crawled it, jogged it, or run. I mean, all these were renowned for running backwards, weren't they? Quite often. And between you, because you've both been there, you're both of a certain age. It seems, working in the boxing gyms, rightly or wrongly, that running and skipping is not as as up there as it used to be in today's gyms. Now, whether that's because we've got younger coaches coming through that that don't buy into those old fuddy-duddy training tactics, or whether it's we've got coaches that can't champion what they teach, i.e. they don't go out themselves, I'm not sure. I'm still a massive advocate of skipping and running for boxers. It's a staple part of a diet. I'd just be interested, your experience, I'd like you to share that. Would you agree with me? Or would you like to see other things come back into boxing? Skipping
is a very important part of your training. It is, because it's hand-eye coordination, it's all everything. Everything's got to be in line. Your balance, your reactions to rope coming around, especially when you're doing your speed jumps and all this and that. So it's important. It's timing, everything's timing with skipping. You know what I mean? So, of course I do a champion skipping. And I think everybody should do a minimum of 3 rounds of skipping, at least, because it warms your muscles up as well. You know what I mean? Yeah, obviously, in our day, we were, to be fit, we were told to run as far as we possibly could, hit bag as hard, as fast as you can, and for as many rounds as you can. And as far as, I sparred to Ed until I went to Brendan Ingall's gym. Each night, probably 8-9 rounds a night, you know what I mean? Because we're sparring various people. And then when I went to Brendan's, he educated me, so you're going to get enough blows to Ed when you're fighting. But I always said to Brendan, I said, look, Brendan, I need to. That's my forte, slipping and that. So I need at least a couple of rounds sparring once a week. So he didn't champion it, but he allowed me to, because he knows I was setting my ways and that. And I believe that you should Ed spar at least once a week. Not so much as many rounds as what I used to do, but it's good for head movement. People are forgetting about that. A lot of this with head guards and all this and that, when the thing is, I never boxed in an head guard.
Oh, we can see that.
Yeah. Like I said to you, for me, it was the best thing in the world, because I had to move my head, so I'm going to get punched in the face. So when head guards come along, people stop moving their head as much, and it become a thing. When they removed head guards for seniors in Olympics, there were so many cuts.
Yeah.
You never hardly saw any cuts when I was boxing, because people moved their head. You know what I mean? So, of course, yeah. I do and I don't mind this diets and things like that. I think it's horrendous that somebody can charge £400-500 for a diet plan when somebody's fighting. Somebody who can condone somebody to weight drain themselves 2 or 3 days before a fight to rehydrate again, once they've weighed in. I mean, it's killer. I think it's the first, it's a well-known fact that the first place when you're losing weight, water is off your brain. So no wonder, you get so many brain injuries. I think it's that's my opinion. Doctors and things will say otherwise, but me personally, I just think it's a, you know what I mean? Train hard, fight easy. That's the thing. That's the only way to do it. I never had to diet me, and I trained hard. Even when I fought for my Central Area title, I was still underweight for the thing. I just run as much as I could, and I trained as hard as I could. So I didn't have to diet. There were no such thing as that. Well, not as much anyway. And I stand by that, regardless of thing. I think it's thing a bit like a lot of trainers, young trainers, I disagree with me, but that's their opinion. I've got my opinion.
Absolutely. Well, I mean, boxing evolution, if you like, because we talk about strength and conditioning that we never did. We talk about nutritionists that we never did. Boxing continues to evolve, doesn't it? It just continues to evolve. And I often think you see these things pop up on on many socials, and in the prime, who'd be the best? You think you might pitch Rocky Marciano against Lennox Lewis. Yeah. Well, what gets me, it's not particularly those dream matches. It's if we were where we are now in the evolution of boxing. We've got strength and conditioning coaches, we've got nutritionists, we've got different stuff. I like to put the boxers of yesteryear in there now. So let's take Rocky Marciano, let's take Muhammad Ali, all-time greats. Then, how do you think? Would they be even better? Would they be better? Would it make a difference?
It were a different world back then, and I think with the way they are being fed at the moment, they're just getting so much bigger. I mean, what's Tyson Fury, 6'9"?
Yes.
And what was Mike Tyson, 5'11"?
Yes.
It's just a different. How do you hit somebody that big? I mean, it's hard hitting somebody that's 4 inches bigger than you. Never mind somebody 6'9". They're just that much. Seem to have grown that much.
Yeah.
Boxing.
Too many additives. That's what I like to say.
Too many additives. Fair enough.
It is indeed. So, who's going to have the final word then? Because it's about this beautiful woman. I say that wholeheartedly, sincerity, right? This beautiful woman. In fact, let's have. Where's she going to go in 2 years' time?
2 years'
prediction.
time. My prediction: we're looking at least a British title in 2 years from now. And I think that's how good she is. She's going to fly through this. I know. She's just going to be. If she carries on doing what she's doing, the way thinking, there's no problem there. British titles on the way. 2 years from now.
Okay.
Well, I'd like to think in 2 years from time, British title, that'd be brilliant. That'd be absolutely brilliant. That's the one we all want, isn't it? Mm-hmm. And it's just such a nice belt. So just to have that one, it'd just be unbelievable. But I think she's going to go all the way. I believe in her wholeheartedly. Well, I think I'm not going to be happy until she's 3-time world title.
People's going to laugh at me when I say about this young lady. I think she'll be a undisputed world champion. And a multi-weight world champion as well. Not multi-division world champion, because I think the girl's young, she's hungry, and she's still got a lot to prove.
Fantastic, thank you. And the last word is going to come from Flo herself, and it's only a straightforward, everyday bread and butter interview question. This, right? Past or present, who is your most influential boxer? Who do you look up to or aspire to be like?
I would say from back in the day, I like the style Sugar.
Sugar Ray?
Yeah, I like his style. But past and present, I would say I aspire to be better than me from yesterday.
Oh, that's a fantastic answer.
Absolutely.
Better than you from yesterday.
I so arrogant.
No, that's great.
I look up to myself.
That's good. That's saying to me that you're not the definitive item, you're not the finished item, and you're never going to be, are you? Because you can always look back. Yeah, that's absolutely fantastic. Let me thank you for your time. It has been in the company of me, Steve Dakin, the company of Den Doyle from Huddersfield Gladiators, Rob Riley from Riley's Boxing Gym in Sheffield, and of course, I'll come to this in a minute because I've got to do this properly and I've had my warnings, okay? Ladies and gentlemen, Florence FBI Inett!
That sounds pleasant.
It's been nothing but the truth. We'll see you soon. Thank you for being with us. Bye-bye.